Perhaps you've heard the news that if you're paying rent, you could be buying a home. Now, you may be thinking that's laughable if your credit is bad or slow and you've got a high debt load with student loans, or you've decimated your credit building your business and it'll take years, perhaps a decade or more, before you're in a position to buy a home. Or maybe you simply don't believe home ownership is possible for you. Well, whatever the case may be, if you are a first-time home buyer, millennial, or self-employed individual, did you know that there are new loan programs that consider your plight and make it possible to own a home? Yes, even with bad credit. So let's take that one right off the table. It is true, and we'll cover that a little bit later in the presentation. But where is the coverage about these programs? The media doesn't seem to be reporting on it as they should, so I'm going to tell you all about it, but before we do, I'd like to ask you a few questions to see if this scenario fits you. Are you currently living in a small, cramped apartment and paying sky-high rent? Now, this looks like your average big city small bedroom, right? Well, notice the shower curtain and tub to the left of your screen. I actually know someone. I have actually seen an apartment just like this in New York City. Are you currently living next to neighbors who subject you to their noise, having zero respect for your privacy? Know this guy? Or are you this guy? And are you disturbed by his loud music, video games, or booming surround sound theater system? Perhaps you'd like to play your music or TV loud, but without having to consider if you're disturbing the peace. And last, do you find yourself complaining about the annual rise in rent while screaming, "For what I'm paying in rent, I could be buying a house. I can't wait to live in my own home"? If so, that time has come. Do you remember the financial collapse of 2008? The sight of those new subdivisions being abandoned by developers and builders after the streets were paved and spec homes built only to resemble ghost towns, and they sat that way for several years, unfinished? Well, the mortgage and housing industries played a major role in that catastrophic event. More specifically, a certain type of product had a lot to do with it, amongst other things. The stated loan of 2006, or more affectionately called the ninja loan, no income, no job or assets, well, they were largely to blame for the collapse of the last decade when they were packaged and resold on the secondary mortgage market by lenders to institutional investors. Well, since the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Act of 2010 and its reform in 2018, credit requirements have been eased for those who may not otherwise qualify. But there are safeguards in place, so we won't have financial collapse part 2. In the spring and fall of 2018, CNBC ran a few news stories whose headlines read, "Thousands line up for zero down payment subprime mortgages," and "Subprime mortgages make a comeback with a new name and soaring demand." Here's a quote from that article. "1/5 of consumers today still have very low credit scores, often disqualifying them from obtaining a mortgage in today's tight lending market. Last summer, Fannie Mae announced it would relax its lending standards for prime loans, allowing borrowers with higher debt and lower credit scores to obtain loans without additional risk overlays such as large down payments and a year's worth of cash reserves. At the urging of Wall Street, lawmakers on Capitol Hill have complied and brought back what was once known as the subprime mortgage, today known as non-QM or non-qualified mortgage, which we simply refer to as non-prime loans. But why? Why in the world would they do that? Why are mortgage lenders offering such aggressive loan products similar to the ones that created the Great Recession? Because most prime borrowers, those with A-plus credit, aren't buying new homes. Check this quote from the Chief Credit Risk Officer at Freddie Mac, Terry Merlino. "Lenders are facing rising interest rates and a shrinking borrower pool." And because banks in general make more money on interest-bearing products from low credit score borrowers. According to the CNBC article, a who's who of Wall Street, large financial institutions, private capital from hedge funds, and private equity firms, as well as insurance companies, are getting into the game buying mortgages on the secondary market. They believe as long as lenders are good at managing the risk, not excessive risk, then the investment is sound in their eyes now that Fannie Mae has recalibrated its risk assessment criteria due to the high demand of non-prime loans. Now here's the more telling quote from that CNBC story. Between 2009 and 2015, tighter credit accounted for more than just 6 million missing loans, according to research by Lori Goodman at the Urban Institute. These are mortgages that would have been granted under more normal historical underwriting standards. The rebirth of the non-prime market is focused on these missing mortgages. Non-prime loans are focused on 6 million missing applicants that were declined for a mortgage over a 6-year period. This legislation, these new loan programs, could affect 6 million people and their families. The question is, could you be one of them? And that's the late, great breaking news. Non-prime loans are now available for those with 500 credit scores who wouldn't otherwise qualify. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Government regulators and big banks are giving borrowers a pass from their past. Now, this, of course, is not a guarantee of approval. Now, of course, you'll need to prove that you've got stable income, provide supporting documentation, and a down payment to prove that you've become fiscally responsible since your past credit challenges. And applicants who can have more than a fighting chance for approval with a non-prime loan product. This is the kind of information that calls for a celebration and a call to action. Why aren't more people talking about this and sharing this really good news? Well, we don't know and we really don't care. I was absolutely shocked to find that 8 out of 8 real estate and or mortgage professionals had no idea that this was happening when I conducted my own impromptu survey. We're going to do our part to make as many consumers aware of this new opportunity as we can, and you can help by telling your friends and family members to visit our site. So who else can benefit from this program? Great question. Well, certainly those who have tried and failed to qualify for a home, specifically those who may have been declined in the last 90 days. If that's you, you are in luck. Your application and supporting document folder is still active in the eyes of our preferred lender. Now, if your desired home is still on the market, your appraisal may qualify too, if it's less than 120 days old and the appraiser is on our lender's approved list. Attend this event and learn how you can resubmit your application to our preferred lender. If you have everything in place, you could have a pre-approval for a loan in as little as 48 hours. Another huge market that falls into this missing applications category are those who are self-employed or act as an independent contractor of some sort. If this is you, we know your struggle is real. You've been busy pursuing your dream, building a business you can be proud of someday, but sacrificing your credit in the process. Well, you're not alone, and we understand that because we've been in the same boat. This seminar and these mortgage programs are absolutely for you as well. This demographic target is so huge, 44 million, up from 41 million in 2017, that Freddie Mac has created an automated underwriting process specifically to help lenders approve more loans due to the rise in competition, the non-traditional wage earner, and the shrinking borrower pool. Now, what if you had serious financial trouble in the past? Well, it's even possible to get approved with a bankruptcy, foreclosure, or short sale on your credit report. Sounds crazy, but it's true. If you've had that repossession, perhaps a short sale, maybe even a foreclosure, you may be eligible to apply for a mortgage today. Do you have a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in your past that's been discharged? Well, you could be eligible to apply today. Have a recent Chapter 13 bankruptcy? If you've made payments into bankruptcy court, you may be eligible to apply for a mortgage too. Look, everyone's made a misstep or two in their lifetime. Your past credit issues are almost a non-factor with these new loan programs. Now, if you have a desire to own a home, but you're not quite ready yet, you don't have an agent, haven't found a loan officer because your credit isn't as great, or you don't have a down payment and closing costs, and you just don't want to figure this out on your own, then attend our virtual home buying seminar. This event will teach you everything you need to know about the home buying process without having to speak with an agent or a broker. So why should you enroll in the virtual home buying seminar as if you hadn't been given enough reasons already? Well, you need a pre-approval letter before you get excited about a particular home because most real estate agents don't want to drive you around to see homes unless they know you've been pre-approved by a lender. And that's not even a guarantee. However, a pre-approval or pre-qualification letter is required. Real estate agents work on commission, and real estate purchases typically have a fairly long sales cycle. So if you've got credit challenges, learn what needs to be done at our seminar first. Get your documents in order, get your pre-approval letter, then find your real estate agent and begin searching for a home. Now, going through the home buying process alone can feel like navigating through a maze without a map or some sort of guidance. It's intimidating to say the least, and you're going to need help from an agent. But if you don't have a real estate agent right now, it's not a problem. You may not need one at this particular point while getting things in order. This virtual seminar is a perfect educational primer for those without a real estate agent, mortgage professional, or pre-approval letter. Now, when you have that letter, you are comfortably in the driver's seat to finding a good agent, one that you will actually like working with. Now, if you're just beginning to think about buying a home but don't have your documents in place or a down payment yet, and you don't quite feel comfortable proceeding with talking to anyone because you really don't want to waste anyone's time, this seminar is for you. Real estate professionals love an informed consumer. You'll make their job that much easier. After attending this seminar and reviewing the recording several times, you'll have a complete understanding of what occurs at every step of the home buying process, so you don't feel overwhelmed or taken advantage of by a seller or anyone else for that matter. As far as finding or looking at homes right now, you can use online home finder sites like Trulia.com and Zillow.com and take all the virtual tours you like without leaving your home. You'll see all the information regarding those homes of interest, like when the home was built, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, custom amenities, square footage, the size of the lot, the existing loans, property taxes, etc., and of course, beautiful pictures of each home. And why would you waste time experimenting with all of this on your own when you can actually learn directly from people who are in the field every day doing what you probably don't have any experience at doing? You'll learn straight from the horse's mouth, experts in the field. These are speakers that we've selected that will inspire you with their stories and empower you with their know-how. We've also enlisted special guests from the world of real estate and mortgages who provide valuable insight into the home buying process. And of course, this seminar is perfect for those who want to avoid the crowds. You don't want to attend the big cattle call seminars in hotels with hundreds to thousands of attendees or even in a smaller office. Talking about personal financial matters or your credit shouldn't be handled in a public forum where others are eavesdropping, comparing their situation to yours. You'll have privacy and can participate in our course from the comfort and confines of your very own home and or mobile device. And you won't have to spend money on travel accommodations or even a tank of gas. Enjoy the virtual home buying seminar again from your home. This could very easily be a savings of at least a few $100s and possibly travel time and time away from your family. This seminar is actually conducted online for your convenience. Not just that, but we've recorded everything and you'll have access to the seminar in our secure members area. So if you're unable to watch the entire seminar in one setting, you'll be able to watch the recordings at your leisure and watch them as many times as you like. We'll even include each section transcribed so you can read the content as well. You can use the seminar content as your reference and even reach out to our professionals when you have questions or want to enlist their services. Well, here's another benefit of home ownership. You no doubt have heard that owning a home can reduce your taxes, right? Well, any accounting or tax professional worth their salt should be in your ear about buying a home for this reason alone. The most favorable tax treatment comes in the form of deductions such as your closing costs, mortgage interest, private mortgage insurance, property taxes, points and fees on your loan from the lender, etc. And of course, you may also be afforded tax credit for interest paid on your mortgage in a given year, usually 20 to 40% depending upon your state and according to the FDIC, or environmental improvements to your home such as installing solar energy panels for heating. These savings are significant and mean more money in your pocket. So here's what you're going to learn at the virtual home buying seminar. Mortgage programs for all credit types for a primary residence purchase, refinance of rate and term, and investment properties, even cash out refinance. The mortgage qualification process, understanding your credit, completing the mortgage application correctly, your new house from appraisal to home inspection to pest inspection, budgeting your new home and miscellaneous expenses, getting to the closing table, understanding your sales contract, pre- and post-purchase tips, understanding closing costs, your fees, your loan estimate and closing disclosure statements, and access to our preferred network of lenders and real estate professionals. You're going to get the entire seminar in video format and bonus session recordings, a transcription of notes for each section, an audio version of each section, a seminar workbook for each section, and Q&A sessions for each section. Click the Enroll Now button on your screen to reserve your seat today. The virtual home buying seminar course is secured on a mobile responsive platform. That means you'll have full digital access to the content from your desktop, laptop, tablet, or mobile phone. You can take that first step toward peace of mind and home ownership by attending the virtual home buying seminar. That first step may lead to creating lasting memories with friends and family in your new home.